Welcome to the channel and welcome to 8th edition 40k. It's 2,000 points. It's Tau versus Admech. In this battle report we are playing no mercy. That's just kill points. We're just trying to tear the snot out of each other. It's spearhead deployment. The Tau will be deploying on this side of the battle grid, and the Admech are deploying in and around that installation on the other deployment zone over there. The Admech are trying to push the Tau back. The Tau seek to capture and control, seek to claim this installation for the greater good. Admech this side, Tau on that side. First Blood is in effect, Linebreaker and Slay the Warlord. Remember, Linebreaker in 8th edition, you need to get your a unit within the enemy's deployment zone, not within their table head. So I need to get over there. My army is particularly slow. The Tau need to get back here. Basically, they want to control this objective. And we welcome Paul back to the channel with his Tau. Say hi, Paul. Hi. And this is the first game that Paul's had a chance to play with his Tau army, so it's a curious list he's brought. It's going to be very, very interesting. We're going to be dipping in and out of the books every now and then. There will be the odd rules mistake here and there. We still haven't got this edition 100% down yet, so bear with us. We'll try and do everything we can to minimize any mistakes, but I'm very interested to see if the Penitent Forge, if the Admech can push the Tau back out of this battle grid, push them away from this sector, deal damage to the Xenos threat, and win victory for the Omnissiah. Let's go and have a look at these armies. This is 2,000 points of Adeptus Mechanicus. It's a battalion detachment, so I've got 6 command points. Leading the charge today is Designate 17, otherwise known as Belisarius Call, and with him is a Tech Priest Dominus with no upgrades. Tech Priest Dominuses have that buff which allows you to re-roll hit rolls of 1 when shooting. Call allows you to re-roll everything when shooting within 6 inches of him. So there should be a little castle gathered around D17 for this battle to now essentially give prescience to all my troops in and around him. He can also heal himself, he can heal himself, they can heal units either side of them as well, which is nice. So definitely it definitely benefits you if you castle in and around your HQ choices. And then in troops, I've brought a lot. There's 8 here. 3 units of Cataphoron destroyers, and they've got plasma, because plasma's a thing now. So Grav is 1 damage, plasma is 1 damage. They're both -3 AP, but plasma's got 6-inch further range and is strength 7 instead of strength 5. So it seems to be a bit more reliable than Grav when you look at it that way. However, Grav does just 5 straight shots. This plasma stuff, it does D6 shots. So if I roll trip 1s, then yeah, that 3 is definitely a lot less than the 15 Grav cannon shots I could chuck out. But going to bring them along, see how they get on. And then in the troop slot, I've got 4 times 5 units of Vanguard. There's a plasma caliber in 4 of the squads. This squad back here is naked. They've got no upgrades at all. 2 individual units of Onger Dune Crawlers with the neutron ray. They've both got Cognis Stubbers, 2 Cognis Stubbers each. Iron Stride Ballistaries with the Cognis auto cannons, and then a Data Smith and the Robots of Doom. These guys have got cheaper from the previous editions. When the shots reflect back on 6s with their refractor field, they can do mortal wounds. So I think robots are definitely going to be a thing in this edition. I want to get a chunk more of them. More wounds, more damage output, more reliable firepower, re-rolling when I've got my HQs around them, plus the ability to heal them up again. The Data Smith can heal them, these guys can heal them. Yeah, they would be target priority #1 for me. Anyway, that's 2,000 points worth of Battalion Admech. And this is 2,000 points worth of Tau. It's got 3 detachments in it. There's a battalion detachment, a Vanguard detachment, a Spearhead detachment, so Paul's got 8 command points to play with. Anyway, in the battalion detachment, he's got a commander with missile pods and a Nushi, the old boy himself. This is an old Nushi model. That's how long Paul's been playing Tau for. And we've got Pathfinders and 3 units of troops there. And then in the Vanguard's elite, I think. Another commander with his twin plasma. We've got some stealth suits and 2 Riptides burst cannon and an ion thingy bob there. And then in the other detachment, which is the spearhead detachment, another commander with the plasma rifles and 3 individual units of missile tires. Now these guys are extremely expensive now, and but their toughness 5 wounds with a 2-up save, something like that. Anyway, they're very, very resilient, and they chuck out a frightening amount of firepower. Yeah, extra hard points spent to give these guys an invulnerable save to make them even more resilient. He's got 3 commanders in his army, Paul. The way we read it, you can only do the Montcar or Kaon thing once, which is reroll to hit within 6 inches of a commander, or reroll to shoot within 6 inches of a commander, but it's once per battle you can do it. It says once per battle a commander may do this ability. So if you had an army of 20 commanders, then once per battle a commander may do this ability. The way we read it is you can only do it once. And then you've got Shadow Sun and Farsight who can do these things twice. So it would make their rule a bit redundant if you could spam multiple commanders to get your twin linked everything for more than one turn. So yeah, 3 different detachments of Tau. Not a lot of guys in here. There's 14 kill points here, 15 kill points there. So it looks like Paul will be going first. He'll get to deploy everything first, but we're pretty equal on the kill points. And we just got to smash each other. It's going to be a very interesting game. Great to see Tau back on the channel. Should mention that old man Anushi is the warlord for the Tau, and of course Designate 17 will be my warlord. Tau deployed for this slaughterfest, for this bloodfest, and they managed to deploy first. Anushi, the warlord for the Tau, is sat there, and the 3 commanders are in that Manta Strike reserve thing, which means Paul can choose to bring them in more than 9 inches away from an enemy unit at the end of any of his movement phases. And Paul, the Tau, managed to deploy everything first because he's got 1 less unit than me. Haven't rolled a dice to try and steal the initiative yet. The infiltrators, 12 inches away from the enemy deployment zone, right in the centre of the battle grid. The stealth suits though, sorry, not infiltrators. And the Tau look out at this. The robots on one side with Designate 17 and the onagers on the other side. Most of my stuff hiding down in behind the installation, ready to feel the brunt of the Xenos threat before I respond. Tucked in quite nicely here, Data Smith, Cataphren destroyers, there's Cool, there's the Data Smith, all the Vanguard holding on to the installation, and then I've got a second castle up and over here. Lots of long range shooting here, second in command's there ready to heal stuff, and lots of long range shooting here. And these guys, well, they might not die, they might not get shot at by anything all game, and the same with the Tau Fire Warriors back here. But games of 8th edition are often very bloody affairs. They tend not to be very many stuff left on the battle grid at the end. This is going to be a tale of 2 shooting armies. The Tau can put down a tremendous amount of firepower, but so can the Penitent Forge. And I have the Omnissiah on my side. All the Tau have is something called a greater good, and there is no good in this galaxy. There is only war. So let me try and steal the initiative first of all, which I failed to do, and it is now Tau, turn 1. In the movement phase, these guys coming around this way, and with the elements they're going to be having their 6-up feel no pain thing given out by the ethereal there. Stealth suits move 8 inches, so they've swung around this side, and they've been joined by 2 crisis commanders, and the Montcar order has been issued. But not by these 2, by the 3rd one who dropped him back there. That'll affect both Riptides and that set of Fire Warriors there, and the Pathfinders with their marker lights, and one of the XV-88 broadside battle shoots. Basically they get to re-roll everything to hit in a 6-inch bubble around this commander here, and they want to throw as much firepower downrange into the vehicles that they can. This could be a bad turn, or Tau shooting could save me. Let's move on to the shooting phase. But before we do, let's have a look and see which socks Paul is wearing today.
It's Thor. It's the Mighty Thor.
The Mighty Thor. Opening salvos, marker lights from the Pathfinders, coming in at this. Rolling a hit, the Dune Crawler, and 2 hits so far, but re-rolling plus Montcar. ripples over the Vox. That's 4 hits with marker lights. Okay, broadside suit number 1, which is within 6 inches of the commander, firing at on a go Dune Crawler number 1, which is lit up by marker lights. Everything firing at him, all of his missiles, hitting on 4s, re-rolling. And the re-roll, that was 6 hits. This is the high yield.
Yeah.
Strength 7.
Strength 7.
Still strength 7. I'm toughness 7. Force to wound. And that's 4 wounds. -1 AP over 3-up save, down to 4-up. So 1 gets through, and it does D3 damage a pop. That's 2 damage off the Onager. SMS, rolling a hit, and twin linked. Everything hit. And this is strength what?
5.
5, toughness 7, winning on 5s. And you get 4 wounds, 5 wounds there. What's the minus to the AP?
Nothing.
Minus nothing to AP, so just a flat 3-up save. And 2 get through. So just damage 1 at a time, lose 2 with the high missile pods, 2 with the other ones, puts this Onager Dune Crawler from 11 down to 7 wounds left. Next, the stealth suits firing at the Onager Dune Crawler. They're outside of Monclar range, but they'll be re-rolled to hit log rolls of 1 because it's lit up. They've all got burst cannons, so that's 24 burst cannon shots coming in at the Dune Crawler. Hitting on 4s, re-roll on 1s. There's quite a few 1s there. Yeah. How many 1s did you get? I can't count that many on one hand.
7.
7 1s. Well, let's see if these marker lights help you out. Those marker lights definitely helped you out. Strength 5, AP dash, wounding on 5s. I'm assuming it's 1 damage a pop.
1 damage a pop.
1 damage a pop. Okay, so that's 7 wounds to make with a 3-up save. And yeah, I lose 3 more wounds. Putting the Onager down to 4 wounds, he's beginning to steam and smoke now. Sensing blood or oil, this commander now is firing at him with his 2 rapid-fire plasma rifles.
Yep.
Hitting on 2s. And re-rolling 1s because of that marker light. So it did come in handy. And this is strength 6. Wounding on 5s. AP minus what? That's 1 wound.
-3.
-3, so I have a 5-up and vulnerable save. Which I fail, putting me down to 3 wounds. Rinse and repeat, second commander firing in, and all 4 hit. 5s to wound again. 1 more wound from the other commander. 1 more 5-up and vun, which I fail. The Onager's down to 2 wounds. Sensing blood, the Onager steaming away. The second broadside is going to slam all guns into him, all guns to bear. Hitting on 4s.
This is the SMS.
SMS, okay. Re-rolling 1s because of the marker light. And that's 5 hits there. Strength 5, toughness 7, wounding on 5s. 2 wounds left. 2 more wounds, 2 3-up saves, which I make. So it's still alive, but now we have the high yield missile pods about to crack in on him, hitting on 4s. There's a 1. Marker lights coming into effect again. Those Pathfinders definitely earning their money this time. Strength 7, toughness 7.
4s.
4s to wound. 4 wounds. I've got 2 wounds left. 3-up saves to make. For the
It's -1, isn't it?
-1 with high mild. 4-up saves to make for the Omnissiah. He's dead. Onager blows up on a 6. Don't blow up, you're right in my lines. He doesn't blow up, and that is first blood. With the removal of my Dune Crawler, it leaves the second in command exposed. And now the last broadside is firing its high-yield missile pod straight into his face. His SMS going here. We measured up. He's just a gnat's chuff ahead of the Vanguard here. So he is a viable target to that one. The ones over there, they would have had to have smashed into this unit. But that one right on that side can actually shoot my character. Bad placement there. Or, basically, I didn't expect my Onager to get wiped out so easily. Mind you, it's a Tau gun line. He should have, yeah, okay. Bad placement. Rolling to hit, sir. Hitting on 4s with your high yield missile pods. And that's a lot of hits. Strength 7, toughness 4, so you're winning on 3s. And high yields are -1 AP, right?
Yeah.
So he has a 2-up save 3 times. So this becomes a 3-up save. But the second in command makes it all. The SN logo from SN Battle Reports, thanks for the dice, Steve. That counts as a 6. Then split fire. SMS can target units that are not in line of sight, firing into this unit of Vanguard. Hitting on 4s. That's pretty good shooting for Tau. That's 6 hits, and you're wounding on strength 5, toughness 3, wounding on 3s. Does this have a minus AP? Did we already discuss that?
No, it doesn't.
So they just have a 4-up save. Do you get cover? Because these guys are on the other side of that barricade there, but no, you don't get your benefits for cover, so it's just a flat 4-up save, and one of them dies. So one died in this squad here, and now the Riptide is speaking. The SMS is out of range, which is lucky for me, but he's suffering a mortal wound to overcharge his gun. That's how the overcharge works now. You just take a wound, and he's firing the big, nasty rending gun down at my second Onager Dunecrawler. 4s to hit, and you get 2 hits. Lovely.
Oh, I get the reroll though, don't I? Because he's by the...
oh yeah, he is within the Moncar guy. Damn it, I forgot about that. So only 2 hits, and then you get to re-roll all the other shots.
Thankfully.
This is where you get them all. No, you don't get them all.
I don't.
You still rolled on a bunch of 1s. In the end, what was that? 6 out of 12.
6, yeah.
Strength 6, wounded on 5s. 3 wounds, minus 2 AP, you say?
Yeah.
Okay, so that drops my 3 up to a 5 up, so I'll use the invulnerable save. And he takes a wound, 1 damage a pop. So he drops from 11 to 10 wounds. Now the second Riptide, Nova charging his ion accelerator, firing down at the Dunecrawler one more time.
That's heavy D6.
Heavy D6, 5 shots. This model's also within 6 inches of his Montcar Warlord, so he's hitting on 4s and re-rolling. That's 4 hits already. That's 5 hits, ouch. And it's strength what? AP what?
The ion accelerator is minus 3 AP, strength 9.
Okay, wounding on 3s. Yeah, so just 2 wounds. Minus 3 AP is my 5-up invuln. And I make 1. Does a straight 3-up damage, smacking him from 10 down to 7 hull points left. The Riptides have 13 wounds left because they start off with 14, so taking 1 damage to overcharge their stuff, well, that's not much of a thing until I start shooting back at you. Feeling confident now, but... Then some small arms fire came from the Fire Warriors down into the Castellan robots, and they just ate that. They have a 2-up save with their Aegis protocol in effect. And that's the end of turn 1 shooting for the Tau. They score first blood, they kill a unit, that's 2 points to them. There's no jump, shoot, jump anymore. These stealth suits are going to be exposed. These commanders here are going to be exposed. They're not the closest unit, so I can start shooting at them. Fire has rippled across the Admech lines. We've lost a Dunecrawler. But now it is our turn to speak. Let's move on to Penitent Forge, turn 1. In the movement phase for the Admech, it's all very simple. One castle comes round this way to line up shots down there, and the other castle moves round the left flank. The Iron Strider's going their full 10 inches. I've pulled my second in command back, but he's still within 3 inches of him, and he can deal heal D3 wounds on that Onager Dunecrawler with Master of Mechanisms. And that's a 6. Puts him straight back up again. And then most of these units won't be able to see his crisis suits because of all this terrain in the way and all the boxes down there. The line of sight is poor. However, the Cataphron destroyers are a bit bigger, a bit taller, and they can see through to that commander there. So let's shoot him. These guys, heavy D6 each. That's nice. That's 11 shots, hitting on 4s with a heavy gun. These guys, because they're tracked, they don't suffer the -1 to hit moving with a heavy gun. They're also outside of the 6-inch range to affect their re-roll to hits, because too far away from the HQs to help them out. So flat hitting on 4s, and that was awful. But these are strength 7. Toughness of that suit, I believe, is 5 now. Wounding on 3s. And that's a -3 AP. 3 6-up saves. You make one of them, it only does 1 damage each, so he only takes 1 wound. Then the Phosphor Blasters, I'm outside of rapid fire range, hitting on 4s, 2 hits, strength 5, 1 wound, -1 AP with that one as well, so that's a 4-up save, which you make. That wasn't so successful, so let's rinse and repeat with this unit here. They will benefit from re-rolls to hit rolls of 1. Because of the second in command. Let's target the same Tau commander who's dared to stray too far into my lines. D6 damage a shot. That's 16 shots. Hitting on 4s and re-rolling 1s. And there's a couple of 1s there, which did help. 8 hits in total, strength 7, 3s to wound. Damn it. Actually, that's not too bad. That was 5 wounds, each of these minus 3 AP, so 5 6-up saves if you would be so kind not to roll any 6s, and you rolled 1. 4 more wounds off of him. How many has he got in total?
6. 6 down to 1.
Ooh. 1 wound left. So let's shoot him with the phosphor blasters. The one in front is in rapid fire range, so this will be 4 shots. Re-rolling 1s. That's 2 hits. Strength 5, toughness 5 now?
Toughness 5, yeah.
Yep, okay. 4s to wound. Minus 1 AP, a 4-up save, or he is dead.
He is dead.
Unless you want to spend a command point.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm going to shoot him anyway with a lot more stuff. Are you sure you want to spend a command point?
Yeah.
Okay, 4-up.
Yeah.
And it was worth it. Yeah, I suppose that does mean I'm going to have to waste some stuff firing at him. Now these guys, the only units that they can see is that one there. That's a pain in the neck. I'm going to have to use the heavy stubbers on him to fire at that, and the neutron laser down there at one of those horrible things. So 2 heavy stubbers at the commander with 1 wound left, neutron laser at one of the XV-88s. So I moved, but again, don't suffer the -1 because of moving, because he's a crawler, and I re-roll 1s because he's within 6 inches of my second in command, hitting on 3s. That many hits. Strength 4, toughness 5. I need 5s to wound. 3 wounds, but it's no negatives to your AP, so it's a full 3-up save.
He's dead.
And he dies that.
Just.
1 commander down. Neutron laser firing up the table. How many shots? D3 shots. 3 shots. Nice. Hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. 3 hits. And this is strength 10. What's the toughness of XV-88s now? They're toughness 5. Beautiful. Which means I'm wounding on 2s. That many wounds each. -4 AP. Strips straight through your 6-up, your 4-up, 2-up save. What am I talking about? So you don't get any saves at all. Now shield generators.
Yeah.
Was it a 4-up? Not a 5-up?
4-up.
So 3 4-up saves. You make 2 of them. This does D6 damage though, and 1s and 2s always count as 3s.
Yeah.
So that's 3 damage. That could have been a lot worse. So the 4-up invulnerable save coming into good effect there and saving that broadside from getting wiped out. Vanguard at the other crisis commander. I'm going to overcharge the plasma caliber because I reroll 1s next to him, and it's assault 2 hitting on 3s. Reroll that 1. If I get another 1, he's just removed. No, so that's 1 hit. This brings it up to strength 8, wounding on a 3, which does wound. That's -3 AP and 2 damage, so you get a 6-up save, or you take 2 wounds. Take 2 wounds. Then the remaining radium carbines, re-rolling 1s because he's there, hitting on 3s. That could be better. This is strength 3, so I need 5s to wound. And I get a couple of wounds. 3 wounds, you've got to roll for them separately because on 6s it does 2 damage. So 3 3-ups, which cause a damage a pop, takes 2 wounds. And then 1 more 3-up, which will do 2 damage. Oh, that's 4 damage in total. You failed a lot of saves there. Is he dead as well?
Yep.
Yay! Come close to my castle, you're gonna pay. So now let's fire the Iron Striders. I'm tempted to fire at that XV-88, but these are horribly close to my lines. Yeah, is it minuses to hit Tau suits?
-1.
Okay, so they already moved and they've got heavy weapons, so they'd be hitting on 4s. If I fired at them, I'd be hitting on 5s, so let's fire at a broadside instead. So kick a man while he's down, focus all my firepower into the wounded XV-88s. He's hitting 4s, Cognis auto cannons. That's not good. Strength 8, wounds on 3s. 1 wound. It is -1 AP though, so you get a 3-up instead of a 2-up. No, he saves. Right, moving across to the other side of the installation, and line of sight is really bad. I can see that unit, and the Fire Warriors and the Commander. Can't target the Commander because he's so far back. So from here, that's all I can really see. So one of the Castellan robots is going to fire into those Fire Warriors. The other one is going to fire into these fire warriors. Remember, even though I can only see a few of those fire warriors, you can pull models that are no longer in line of sight. And I'm going to be chugging down so much firepower, I should wipe out these 2 units of troops. So firing across this way, hitting on 4s, but re-rolling because calls stood right next to them. And it didn't help very much. In the end, only 5 hits. Strength 6, toughness 3, so wounds on 2s. And I got 4 wounds. It's -2 AP, so you still get your 6 up saves 4 times. Did you make any?
No.
No, so 3 of those get wiped. Let's fire again at the second unit. The other unit, which is over there.
4.
Yeah, 4. 4s to hit. And re-rolling. That's better. And 2s to wound. That's much better. This time there's 8 wounds to save on that second unit there. You get 6 up saves 8 times. You need lots of 6s. And that's not enough 6s.
No.
The last thing that can see and shoot is the destroyers. The only thing that they can shoot is one of these units. That's a unit of 1 now, plus them. I think mortal wounds will kill them in the morale phase. So let's fire at them. However, this one can't see. Only 2 of them can see. And it's out of rapid fire range for the phosphor blaster. So this is just the plasma. 2d6 shots. That's 6 shots. Hitting on 4s. Re-rolling because call stood next to them. And this is strength 7. So 2s to wound. That's a crap ton of wounds. That's 4 wounds on the second squad. -3 AP burns through all of them, but this squad is within 6 inches of a Nushi, so they get their C6 up. And a Nushi doesn't manage to keep them safe. And with that, the smoke clears. Both commanders on this side have been wiped out. They came too close to the Admech lines. And then round here, the castle's still holding firm, but we've got leadership tests and leadership tests here. So leadership 7 on this chap. 4 damage plus the 2 means he's sticking around. This guy's on leadership 9 because he's next to a Nushi. And 4 plus, yeah, he'll hold. So passing both morale tests around here. The Tau stand firm, stand strong. Both of the Riptides still in the game. The broadside battlesuits still in the game. They need to do more damage every round. They need to keep pouring the pain on because this is a gun fight here. We can both shoot and we can both shoot well. So fingers on the trigger, let's move on to Tau, turn 2. Very little movement in the Tau shooting phase. The Fire Warriors moved Anushi and the Commander shifting, but the Riptides staying firm to maximise their ballistic skill, as do the XV-88s and the Stealth team. Zipping across in front of the installation. There's a shift here from the left to the right for the Tau. He wants to throw as much firepower as he can into this castle and try and ignore the shots coming in from this castle. Right now, this Riptide down here is 100% safe from what D17 and those breaches and robots can do to him. But he's got a good line of fire that way, between the canyon walls, down into the installation. So the Tau seek to cut this Admech force in half. Let's move on to the shooting phase. The Pathfinder's opened up at the Onager, putting 3 marker-like hits on him. And now this Riptide's overcharging one more time, dropping down to 12 wounds, 12 wounds, and is firing everything he can. The ripple fire from the SMS is now in range. Everything he can at the steaming Onager Dune Crawler, hitting on 4s. Is this the SMS?
Yeah.
Yes, rerolling 1s. Nope, okay. And then it's strength 5, toughness 7, so 5's to wound. And that's 2 wounds. 2 3-up saves. I make it. Yeah, 12 shots from the big gun coming in, hitting on 4s. Couple of 1s there for the reroll. That worked. And this is strength 6, toughness 7. So looking for those 5s again to punch through the holy armor. Ooh, that's quite a lot of 5s. 5 minus what to the AP? I think I get my I get my in buns. So 5 up in buns. Make 3 of them. Look at that. Only 2 wounds taken off of him.
Hitting on 2s.
So he has 6 wounds left, and now the commander is firing through the canyon with his missile pods, hitting on 2s. That's 3 hits. Oh, why is he re-rolling? Oh yeah, marker lights. Yep, I forgot. Yeah. 3 hits. Strength 7, toughness 7, force to wound.
No wounds.
No wounds. The broadsides are going to show them how to do it. High yield missile pod at that SMS, firing at them because you can with SMS. So here's the high yields. Hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1s, no 1s there. And then wounding on 4s. And that's 4 wounds. Minus 1 AP, 4 up saves. I make 1. 3 damage a pop. Taking 3 off of him, dropping him from 6 to 3 wounds. That stung. And now you've got 8 shots into that unit there because you can fire out a line of sight and 4s to hit, re-rolling 1s. Nope, so just 3 hits and 3s to wound. 1 wound, 1 4 up. Oh no, you kill 1 anyway. Next one, doing the same thing, firing at this and that unit, whittling them down. High yield missile pods coming in, those are good shots. 7 out of 8 hits there. 4s to wound, can you get as many wounds? Yes you can, that's 4 wounds. 4 up saves. 1 gets through, I made 3 of them. This does D3.
Only the 1. 2
hull points left. And then the other 8 shots into this squad again. And that's good as well. 7 out of 8 hits. Winning on 3s. And 3 wounds. 3 4 up saves. 3 die. I think my alpha's got 2 wounds, let me check. Nope, that was a 7th edition thing. This unit of dead. So ripple firing or SMS firing, snaking around the corner here into the compound, taking out Vanguard left and right and all over the place. There will be no hiding from this Tau firepower. On a good Dune Crawler on 2 wounds left. Where you're firing the last one, sir? I can hear the cogs turning.
Yes, it's got to be the same again, hasn't it?
So the last one is in range, 30-inch range with the SMS of this unit. Hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s. Getting 2 wounds, 2 4 ups. One of them gets fragged. Onager's on 2 wounds left. And 8 high yield missile pods is about to smash into him. That's pretty cocked. Okay. So that's 5 hits. That's pretty good.
4s.
2 wounds. 2 4 up saves. I make 1. Now this does D3 damage, right? Mm-hmm. So if you roll a 3 up, you've killed it. You roll a 2. Do you want to spend a command point?
I do.
You do?
Yeah, why not? You
need a 3.
No!
No! He's on 1 hull point left. He really wants it dead, so the ion accelerator, not overcharged, firing in from the last Riptide hit on 4s. Rerolling 1s. 1 hit. Strength?
7.
7, winning on a 4. No! The Onika Dune Crawler lives. However, the stealth suits could tickle him. I know you haven't fired them yet. I know you wanted to fire at the Iron Striders. You can split fire all over the place. I don't think you've got anything else in range back there that can reach through the canyon walls and smash into the Admech lines. You have killed 1 unit so far. 1 unit Vanguard absolutely wiped out utterly. But he's proving resilient. It's the holy armour that's keeping me strong. Sorry, what was that, Paul?
All of them.
All of them. All the shots. 24 shots?
Yeah.
You sure you don't want to split over there?
I know what I suppose, yeah, alright. 3 on that and 3 on that.
See, if I made you lose, if you don't kill him now...
You want him to live, don't you?
I want him to live. I want him to split as much as possible.
Yeah.
Personally, I would go with your original choice. I would throw everything into 1 thing to make sure it was dead. That's what I would do. But you can split it if you want to.
I'm going to split it.
You're going to split it. So these into what?
3 into there.
3 into that. Okay, 12 shots. Hitting on 4s. Re-rolling 1s because he is marked up. Those marks did help for 1 more. 7 hits. Wounded on 5s. Oh, look at that. You get 5 wounds. Any minuses to the AP?
No.
No? So 5 3-up saves. I'm going to make them all. I'm going to make them all. No. You know, I was hoping that there'd be one failure and then I was going to use a command point, but there was two. So you did kill the Onago Dune Crawler. Does it blow up? Let's roll a dice. It doesn't blow up. It's just removed. You finally got rid of it. And then the other shots? Iron Striders. Okay.
I think so. I mean, what's the toughness of these fellas?
They're toughness 5, and they only have a 4-up save. Yeah. Right, because the Iron Striders are toughness 6, wounding on 5s, these guys toughness 5, wounding on 4s. Paul's decided to fire his firepower into here. Should have picked it before you shot, but I'm going to let you go. We're learning this game. Yeah. Go on then. If you'd have known what the stats were, I'm sure you'd have picked it originally. And how many hits do you get? Only 4. 5. Okay, winning on 4s. And no minuses to the AP, you say. So just 2 wounds, 2 4-ups, and I make 1 drops a wound. And with that last gasp, that's the end of the tower shooting phase. One of these wounded, both of the Dune Crawlers wiped out, one of the Vanguard's squads wiped out, and it's now time for the Admech to retaliate. I'm going to have to be very careful when I move around to see what I can actually draw. Line of sight 2. Let's go on to Admech turn 2. In the movement phase, Designate 17 leads the push for the right flank to get round here. I'll be honest, I'm looking for line breaker in the game. I'm looking to get my units around here so it's got nice zones of fire that way and nice zones of fire that way, but it's going to take me every single turn to get round there, and he's going to have to deal with them sooner or later. Some of the Vanguard units coming this way, away from all the ripple fire, away from all the SMS that way. The Grav breachers, destroyers, they can now see the stealth suits. Got some good line of fire there. Beforehand I was just here, but now I can see the stealth suits. And the second in command, well, he's leading the push around the left flank. We will hold this installation for the Omnissiah. At the end of the movement phase, he'll D3 wounds, so he's back up to full, and then these guys are going to fire everything at that wounded, injured XV-88 broadside battle suit. He will pay. Only one of the phosphor blasters was in range, shot and missed. Now D3 shots apiece with the plasma guns. This is 9 shots this time with the plasma culverins. Hitting on 4s and re-rolling 1s. That's good shooting. Strength 7, toughness something. Wounding on 3s anyway. And that's really good wounding as well. And each one of these is -3. So you're getting your 4-up invulnerable save, and you've got 7 saves to make. As red hot plasma boils over the broadside, can his shields hold firm? Yes, he can. Just one wound. Now, Xenos technology is proving really hard to punch through. He's still got 2 wounds left. All right, let's fire these plasma calibers at those stealth suits. They haven't got these shield generators. Maybe I can boil their blood. Phosphor blasters are in range this time. I'm hitting on 5s because of their stealth mechanic. And I'm re-rolling 1s. So that's 2 hits. Re-rolling 1s because I'm within 6 inches of him. Wounding on 3s. 1 wound, -1 AP, sir. Okay. Back in the book. What's the armor save? It used to be 3 and 2 wounds.
Yeah, they only have 1 wound.
Used to be up a 3-up save with 1 wound. I think they got 2 wounds and a 3-up save now.
3-up save.
Okay, so it becomes a 4-up save once. I think I got 1. I just got 1 dice. And take a wound. 3d6 shots. This time 10 shots with the plasma culverins. The temperature of 1,000 suns flying through the air, hitting on 5s and re-rolling 1s. That's pretty good. I'm going to boil you in your armour. This is strength 7. And your toughness now of the suits? Dipping in the book.
1 page.
It used to be toughness 3, but toughness all your other suits. Toughness 4 now. Okay, so they win on 3s now. And that helped you. That's 3 saves, -3 AP. So 6-up. 6-up saves.
1.
Make 1. So 1 dies, 1 drops a wound. That would have been much more effective in the previous edition. Squad of 4 Vanguard, firing at him. Overheating the plasma caliber again because I'm re-rolling 1s. So 3s to hit, and a miss anyway. This is a squad of 4, that's a squad of 5. So this squad of 4, 9 radium carbine rounds, 5s to hit, 3 hits, and strength 3, toughness 4 now. 2 wounds, 2 3-up saves, and I kill 1 more. First rank fire, second rank fire, plasma caliphar, supercharged, hitting on 5s, strength 8, wounding on a 2. That's a wound that does 2 damage and boils through your armor. Let me check the AP. Dipping in the book, -3.
6s, yeah.
6-up save. No, and that does 2 damage, so it will just nuke one of them. Now the remaining radium shots, 5s to hit, or 4s to hit because it's -1 to hit. I might have said 5s to hit previously, but I don't think I rolled any of the ones that counted. Anyway, 4s to hit. These will wound on 5s. 1 wound, but if you fail to save it does 2 damage. And you fail to save it does 2 damage. Everything here is pretty much fired apart from them. Now I know they moved and they're hitting on 4s, and shooting at them they'll be hitting on 5s, but I want them dead. So let's shoot at them with the autocannons, hitting on 5s. That's 4 hits anyway, so that was quite nice. Strength 7, wounding on 3s. 2 wounds, but each of these does 2 damage, so you fail any 3-up saves. And 1 more dies.
I'm going to re-roll that.
You're going to re-roll it. He's in another command point. Yeah. Re-rolling like a boss. Now the left flank is fired. We're moving across to the right flank, and the only thing that can see, and the only thing that's in line of sight, is these robots down there. Now I'm not going to split my fire into some of the XV-88s. I'm going to put everything into the wounded one. I want him dead. Alright, 18 shots coming in, hitting on 4s, and re-rolling because of call. Re-roll. Strength 6, toughness 5 on broadsides, so looking for 3s. That's pretty good. And each one of these is -2 AP, which drops you 2 up to a 4-up. 12 saves, 2 wounds make, 4-up in Van. That was so close, and if you hadn't used a command point earlier, you could have re-rolled one of them and saved him, but instead you chose to save one of these stealth guys. Look at that. But he's dead. And imagine what would have happened if I didn't split my fire all over the place. He would be alive. I was thinking about putting some into one of these and then some into him, but not splitting my fire was the right decision there. And that's the end of my shooting phase. I've fired everything I can. There's nothing round here that's got line of sight or range. This line of sight blocking terrain and your move this way around from left to right has nerfed that entire castle apart from the robots. We are tearing chunks out of each other here on the left flank, however, or your right flank. Then we rolled for the morale phase. Paul rolled a 6 and I cheered because I thought these guys would definitely get wiped out, but it turns out they have something called bonding knife, some towel thing. If they roll a 6, they auto pass. So his stealth suits have auto passed despite losing 4 of their number. Otherwise that 6 would have had them flee from the battle grid, but they're still here. It's turn 3 for the tower, 2 Riptides, 2 XB-88s. The stealth suits are hanging in there. What can they do? At least they got rid of those pesky Onager Dune crawlers now. Let's move on to Tau, turn 3. Okay, the marker light's firing in. Got a hit on these guys. We're on the hit rolls of 1, and now the stealth suits are going to pick on them. 4 shots apiece. That's 8 shots coming in at the destroyers, hitting on 4s. And re-rolling those 2 1s that you got there. And that was pretty good. Your shooting's been hot, but my shooting has also been hot. 6 hits. Strength 6, toughness 5, winning on 3s.
Strength 5.
Strength 5, winning on 4s then.
2 wounds.
So 2 wounds, 2 4-up saves. And 1 takes a wound. Should mention, in the tower movement phase, everything stays still pretty much because everything's heavy. He wants to keep it anchored so it can fire. Now we have the missile commander firing in at the destroyers, hitting on 2s. That all hit. Strength 7, wounds on 3s. 1 wound. Missile pods are AP -1. I get a 5 up, which I fail, and this does D3 wounds. It's 3 wounds. He's got 2 wounds remaining. Wounds don't spill over. You just wipe out that destroyer there. Good shooting techs. Then, broadside number 1. High yield at this squad. SMS at the unit of 4. Which is this first?
High yield first.
High yield, okay. 3s, 4s to hit. Rerolling 1s. No 1s this time. 4 hits, winning on 3s. And that's 3 wounds. 3 5-up saves. I make 1. D3 damage. A 5 or 6 will wipe 1 out. No, 1 drops down to 1 wound. Then the SMS coming in. 4s to hit. Again, still good shooting. 6 hits there, winning on 3s. And you've got 3 wounds, only 3 wounds. I have a 4-up save. And I'm going to lose 1 Vanguard. So the first one wasn't so successful, just a couple of wounds on this guy and 1 Vanguard. So the second one is going to rinse and repeat. High yield on the destroyers, hitting on 4s and only 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. 1 wound. 5 up, which I make. You don't kill him, because it'd have done D3, it would have wiped him out. SMS on the Vanguard. That was better. 5 hits that time. And 4 wounds. 4 4-up saves. 1 Vanguard left. I think I'll keep the guy with the caliber, plasma caliber. But both of those broadsides unable to do much damage down here. 1 guy left with a plasma caliber there, and I think that Riptide might do something about it now.
He's taken a wound.
He's taken a wound. So mortal wound inflicted. His big gun now fires 12 shots instead of 8. At these. And the SMS is in range of that 1 chap as well if you wanted to wipe him out. 4s to hit. Rerolling 1s. That reroll, all 4 of those rerolls came in there. Strength 6, toughness 5, wounds on 3s. Ouch. Oh, that's not too bad. 5 wounds, minus what AP, what? -2, dipping in the book, 6s to save. That wiped out that unit of destroyers in 1 hit, that Riptide. Did what 2 XV-88s couldn't do. And then the SMS on this 1 last guy with a plasma caliber, hitting on 4s. 4 hits, and wounding on 3s. 2 wounds, 2 4-up saves, and he kills that guy. So that Riptide finishes off those 2 units rather easily. And because line of sight was severely restricted for this last Riptide, the only thing, can't see through there, the only thing he could fire was down into this unit of Vanguard with 3 heavy shots, hitting on 4s, wounding on 2s. He kills 1. Just 1 with a Riptide. Those were the last shots for the Tau. I don't have to take morale on those Vanguard because I've passed them. And in this turn, the Tau have wiped out 2 more units. Another unit of Vanguard, another unit of destroyers. They're being rather efficient. It's been a bloody affair, but this game is a long way from over. Hopefully I'm going to be able to get more of this in range and line of sight this time round. Anyway, let's move on to Admech, turn 3. Here we are at the end of the Pendleton Forge movement phase, again splitting right and left, keeping some units down here, because if this becomes a war of attrition, I've got a couple in my pocket. These guys moving around that way, and D17 and the main armada moving around this side. I'm going to open up hostilities here. This destroyer, this robot can see the Riptide, but the one on the left can't see that Riptide, but he can see that Riptide over there. So one's going to shoot at that Riptide, one's going to shoot at that Riptide. This Riptide has a 3-up invulnerable save with his ion thingy bob. That one doesn't. Let's pull the trigger. 9 shots, heavy phosphor blasters coming in, hitting on 4s, and then re-rolling those 3 misses, and everything hit. This is strength 6, toughness of a Riptide now. 7, 5s to wound, and that's a lot of wounds. That is a lot of wounds. That is 6 wounds right there. AP -2, so the 3-up save, 3-up invulnerable save you need to make, and each one does 1 damage. That's 4 damage right there. This drops this Riptide down to 8 wounds because he's been burning through some of his health by overcharging and overcharging that Nova reactor. The pilot inside is eating radiation. He won't be able to take much more. Now let's fire the second one down at the other Riptide. I'm hitting on 4s and I'm re-rolling because of call. And that's pretty good. I get 7 hits. I'm wounding on 5s, strength 6, toughness 5. And I get 1 wound. 2 wounds, sorry. 2 5-up saves because it's -2, and he drops 2 wounds. Doesn't make any of his saves. How many wounds is he on?
He's on 9.
So he's on 9. This one is at 8. These Riptides are beginning to bleed. Now the Cataphren destroyers are going to fire down in to the XV-88 there, firing through the dried riverbed with the heat of 1,000 suns. D6 shots a pop. That's good again. 13 shots, hitting on 4s, and then re-rolling because of call. Again, my shooting has been very strong, but so is yours. And then with the re-roll, I got 12 out of 13 hits. Ouch. This is strength 7. I'm going to be wounding you on 3s. And that's a lot of wounds. It's minuses. You could basically be taking your invuln. There's 5. 9 wounds in total. That's 9 invulnerable saves you need to make on the furthest XV88 broadside. Rabbit Stew coming up. And how many did you get? 4 saves. How many wounds have these guys got?
6.
6, so he's got 2 left. We forgot, Anushi gives this chap feel no pain on a 6-up on the 4 wounds he took. And he takes a wound back, so the Riptides are both on 9 wounds each. Sorry about that, chaps. And then back round this side to these guys. Now there's a wounded XV88 there and the one next to him. And I'm thinking about supercharging my weapons because I get to reroll ones with him. Yes, let's do that. Let's put 2 of these plasma culverns into the wounded one and the other one into the unwounded one. Don't want to split my fire, have to really. Let's make these Tau bleed. The 2 on the injured XV88 have 5 shots. I'm going to use a command point to re-roll that. Have 5 shots, still get a 2. And then the one that's firing at the uninjured one has 5 shots. Interesting. So these guys firing at the wounded one, hitting on 4s. And if I had any 1s, that's good. So 4 hits, strength 8. I'm wounding on 3s. And that is 4 wounds. You need 4 invulnerable saves. These do 2 damage each, and he's got 2 damage left. So any 4s, you make them all of them. Because even if you'd failed 1, he'd have been wiped out. I knew I shouldn't have split that fire. That leaves that XV88 still alive. Anyway, let's fire the other one back here at the uninjured one. Lessons were learned, people. 4s to hit, and 1s will wipe him out, but I get a reroll because I'm close to my Dominus. Maybe I should have kept my command point for that, because that was... yeah, I should have kept my command point for that. Imagine if I'd have rolled Snake Eyes. 1 hit. Wounding on 3. That's a wound. 4 up invuln. And you make it. That makes me feel a little bit better, because you made all of your invulns. So these Cataphron breachers, destroyers, do nothing at all. Despite overcharging their weapons, despite singing holy hymns. Oh no, you know what I just remembered? Canticles of the Omnissiah. I should have. Suddenly we're in turn 3 and I remember Canticles of the Omnissiah. Yeah. I'm going to do some Canticles next turn. I imagine there's about 28 comments right now in the comment section saying, why aren't you doing Canticles? Because I'm an idiot and I just remembered. That's why. Right, now let's shoot these Vanguard at the stealth suits. Plasma Caliver is overcharging, supercharging because I'm in range of him. Hitting on 4s because I'm firing at the stealth suits. 1 hit. Wounding on a 2 because the overcharged version is strength 8 and that's a wound. You have a 6-up save because it's -3, which you make, and it would have done 2 damage and wiped 1 out. You make it. Those stealth suits are hanging in there. Let's see if they can take some radiation rounds to the face. 4s to hit. Re-rolling 1s because of the Dominus. That's 6 hits. Wounding on 5s. 1 wound. Yes, they can take some radiation rounds to the face. 3-up save.
No.
Oh, they take a wound, however. Let's see if they can take the firepower from the Iron Striders, the auto cannons. Hitting on 4s. I didn't move, so it would be 3s, but 4s because of stealth suits. And that's 5 hits right there. That's pretty good. 3s to wound. And that's 4 wounds, and every wound does 2 damage. 4 3-up saves. Fail them, fail them, fail them. And you make them all. And that's the end of the shooting phase for the Penitent Forge, and it was bad. I didn't kill anything. Or rather, the shield technology, the poisoned Xenos technology I see in front of me, held firm. Paul's armor saves were very, very good. We're now moving on to turn 4 to the Tau. It's getting close to the end game now. End of the Tau movement phase in turn 4, and a couple of things have happened. The first thing that happened is Paul realised that you're supposed to do the overcharging of your stuff on your Riptides in the movement phase. So this one's overcharged his gun. This one's overcharged his gun. And Anushi has given out the ability to re-roll hit rolls of 1 if you stand still to units within 6 inches. So that's standing still. That one's standing still. The missile tide, the commander with his missile pods are standing still. The Pathfinder's standing still. That's a nice little bubble you've got around Anushi there. And then kill point denial. There's one fire warrior tucked in there. One fire warrior ran advanced and is hidden in here because he's below line of sight for anything that I might decide to chew in on him later on. And the stealth suit over there. The reason why I'm mentioning kill point denial is because I've lost 5 units, and with one chap here and one chap there, Paul's only lost 4 units. So with first blood, it's 6 points to 4 right now, and we're beginning to rack up the points, beginning to think about it, because turn 5, turn 6 is just around the corner. The Tau are actually in the lead, even though they look like they've been taking a pounding. So this mission is called No Mercy, and the Tau will not be merciful as we move on to turn 4 shooting. 3 marks from your marker lights. What's the only unit they could see, Paul?
This one.
The Vanguard. Vanguard are marked up. So burst cannons from the stealth suits hitting the marked up unit. Hitting on 4s. Oh, you got 1. You got a couple of 1s. Re-rolling. And your shooting has again been good. 6 out of 8 hits. You're going to be wounded on 3s. And you get 4 wounds. I have my full 4-up save. And 2 die. And it looks like this. Now the SMS on the Riptide there is going to try and finish off these. The big guns going into the destroyers. SMS hitting on 4s. 4 hits. No 1s there. Wounding on 3s. And 3 wounds. 3 4-up saves. And that unit of Vanguard is wiped out. That's another point for the Tau, racing into the lead here. And then the big gun on the Cataphront destroyers. 12 shots hitting on 4s. And this guy gets a reroll because he's within 6 inches of Anushi. That's how it works. That's good. All those rerolls coming to effect. That's 10 hits. Tau firepower stacking up. These buffs helping each other here. Winner on 3s. And that's quite a few wounds, and it's minus what AP?
2.
Minus 2 AP gives me a 6-up save. How many wounds
6.
was it? 6 wounds with a 6-up save. No problem. 3 6s right there. Only 1 dice. So Paul didn't like that. So now we have the XP88, the wounded one, coming in everything it's got at the destroyers. SMS first. And no re-rolling here, just 3 hits and 4s to wound. Strength 5, tough and 5, just 1 wound. 2 saves, 2 4-up saves. 1 takes a wound. But now we have the high yield missile pods, and this is where it begins to sting. 4s to hit. 4 hits. Perfectly statistically average. 3s to wound. And 2 wounds. And it's minus 1 AP, I believe.
Yep.
So 5 up. And 1 more dies, failing those saves there. And this is what that looks like. And so the last XV88 is pouring everything he can into the last destroyer. SMS. 4s to hit. Only 2 hits. I like it. 4s to wound. 1 wound on him. 1 save. Yield missile pod coming in. 4s to hit. What was that? 2, 3? 3 hits, 4 hits, okay, 4 hits, it looked bad, I saw all the 1s and 2s. 4 hits, wounding on 3s, and 3 wounds, which will do it. He's got 3 5-up saves to make, or he's wiped out for the Omnisire. 1 save. I made 1 save, he's alive on 1 wound left. Then Paul informs me this does D3 damage each hit. Roll 2 1s, Paul, come on. Nope, okay, that's just enough to wipe him out, and there's another kill point for the Tau. Okay, so now the commander over there is firing through that canyon down at my second in command over here. He is further away than some of the castle on the right flank, but he is the closest visible unit. The commander can't see any of these. Can't see any of these at all, so he is free to fire at this character with his missile pods, hitting on 2s. And that's 4 hits. Strength 7, wounds on 3s. And that's 3 wounds. What is it, AP? AP -1 does D3 wounds a pop, but I'll have a 3-up save on that. And I make all 3 saves anyway. Yeah. Last thing left to fire is this Riptide coming in the Castellan robots. I believe you overcharged your gun, right?
Yep. I'm going to start with the plasma because they're actually in range now. So
okay.
It's two plasma.
Both hit.
Strength 6.
Toughness 7.
It's 5s. That's 1.
So that's a wound, -3 AP. I've still got the invade save of a 4-up, which I make. 6 shots for the Nova Ion Accelerator. That's 4 shots coming in at the robots, hitting on 4s.
Rerolling 1s.
Rerolling those 2 1s. So that's 1 hit so far. And just 1 hit. Yep. Strength 7, Strength 8.
Strength 9.
Strength 9, now it's overcharged. Wounding on a 3. That's a wound. I have a 4-up invulnerable save with my refractor field. And it's a 1.
It does 3 wounds.
It does 3 wounds. Do I want to spend a command point? Yes, I do. No, I don't. I'm not going to spend a command point. I'm not. Because I get to heal stuff next turn. You can do your 3 wounds, sir. Just flat down 3 wounds on the Castellan robots. And that's the end of the shooting phase for the Tau. 2 more units wiped out. They're 4 points in the lead now, I believe. The second in command who came round the left flank, all of his squad that he brought round this way is dead. Designate 17 and the right flank are still holding firm. And I forgot to do Canticles of the Omnissiah again, because it starts at the beginning of the battle round. That's what's tricking me, because normally I used to do it in my turn, but because it starts at the beginning of a battle round. So do you mind if I call one, please?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so I'm going to do re-roll shootings of 1, which is Benediction of Omniscience. Okay, so let's move on to turn 4 for the Admech. I need to kill a bunch of stuff now, or it's going to be a walkover for the Tau. So in the movement phase, second in command jumped back inside the bunker here, jumped back inside the installation. All of his troops, all of his shock troops have been wiped out. So he's going to join up with these Vanguard. Iron Striders standing still, so their weapons can be shot at full ballistic skill, and the castle around the right flank is beginning to split. Call coming this way, those guys coming that way. I need to maximise the firepower that I can. Before we begin, however, D3 wounds healed on that robot. That's a 6, that's all 3 wounds, he's back up to full health. Then while we're here, I'm going to start off with the Castellan robots right into the face of that Riptide, hitting on 4s with heavy phosphor blasters and then re-rolling the misses. Here's the re-rolls. 14 hits, toughness 7, I need 5s to wound. And that's pretty good, or not. 5 wounds, 5-5-up in buns. And you make 3 of them. The Riptide only takes 2 wounds, but fortunately now he's actually a bit nerfed, so his ballistic skill is affected. He's still not wiped out, still not killed yet. Then over here to these destroyers, the one on the right can see the wing of that Riptide, the edge of that Riptide. He's on 8 wounds. If I drop him down by 1 wound, 2 wounds, that affects his ballistic skill. So he's going to fire at that. These guys are going to fire at that, and I'm going to overcharge again because I'm within 6 inches of core. So this one has 1 shot, and these guys get 7 shots. Let's do the 1 shot. Hitting on 4s, re-rolling because of call. That's a hit. Be wounded, strength 7, overcharge, strength 8, so wounding on a 3. And that's a wound with a 5-up save, or you take 2 damage. No, so it does knock off 2 damage. That overcharging worked on that Riptide. You're going to re-roll it. You need a 5. No, yeah, the re-roll failed. You take 2 damage, sir. 7 shots this way into the wounded XV88, hitting on 4s. And then re-rolling. No 1s, thank heavens. These are strength 8, toughness 5, I need, or 6, I forget what your toughness is, but basically I need 3s to wound. And I do that many wounds, and it burns through your armour again, so you need 5 up invulnerable saves, or you'll take 2 wounds per damage. Can you save them all this time?
No.
No, you can't. I do kill him finally. And then round here, I'm going to fire these guys in at the stealth suits. And then as I step round this side of the table, you're in the way, Cat. You are in the way. Leave the pen alone. Honestly, I nearly... Leave the pen. Honestly, I nearly trod on him there. That was... Anyway, hitting on 4s, because you've got the stealth field, and I would have been re-rolling 1s. Only I didn't get any 1s whatsoever. Wounding on 3, strength 7. That's 4 wounds. Minus 1 AP, so it drops you to a 4 up. And any saves take 2 damage. Basically, I'm looking for 2 1s, 2s and 3s here. Any at all?
1, 2.
There's 1, 2. So the one that's already wounded takes a wound, and he's still alive. That wasn't good enough. That wasn't good enough. End of turn 4 for the Admech, and I only killed 1 unit, 1 XV88. One of these guys left alive is highly annoying, and Paul can jump him back and kill point deny with that as well by keeping him safe. However, both of these Riptides are now down to 6 wounds each, so their shooting attacks will be affected. And as we're about to start your battle round, I can hear the cogs whirling. I'm going to enact a Canticle of the Omnissiah in turn 5, and it's going to be Shroud Psalm. So I'm going to get +1 to my saves as though my units were in cover, and I should have done it such a long time ago. But now let's move.
Do you get that on your movement phase though?
No, you start it at the beginning of any battle round.
Ah, okay.
So whoever's turn it is, you declare it, and then you've got
okay.
it. So basically all my units, it counts as though all my units are in cover, unless they're already in cover, and then you don't get it. So yeah, now it's your turn. Turn 5, you're winning. All you have to do is stay safe. Let's go on to Tau, turn 5. In the movement phase, the Riptides staying still 1 more time and overcharging their weapons 1 more time. And Anushi doing that thing where they re-roll to hit rolls of 1. So they're hitting on 5s now. And if they'd have moved, they'd be hitting on 6s because Paul didn't give them target lock. Target lock allows you to move and fire with heavy weapons as though you stood still. Paul, you just said to me that next time Tau, target lock on Riptides is a thing, and on ghost kills and stuff like that. I think it allows you to move and fire a lot better. So the Pathfinders are coming through the gap. The XV88 moved a little bit as well, I believe. So pretty much everything along here is going to be hitting on 5s.
He didn't move.
He didn't move. You didn't move him.
No, he's still in the same place.
Stayed in the same place. Okay. Yeah, he stays still. That was my wishful thinking there. So talking about the XV88, SMS coming down here and high yield going at the Iron Striders in the corner. High yield first, hitting on 4s. And you only get 3 hits. Wounding on 3s, 1 wound. It's -1, so I get a 5 up, which I fail. D3 damage, does 2 damage. They have 6 wounds each now. So that drops that Iron Strider down to 4, and then SMS coming in at the Destroyers here, hitting on 2 hits, 3 hits, hitting on 4s. 4s to wound, 1 wound, 1 4 up, which I save. So the Destroyer's weathering the storm. The last remaining stealth suit is firing in at the Iron Striders now. And he hits on, he got 2 hits, hitting on 4s, and he gets 0 wounds, strength 5, toughness 6, no wounds done by the stealth suit. Now the Riptide firing its heavy burst cannon at the Iron Striders and its SMS down at the Destroyers as well. So
this is hitting on 5s.
Hitting on 5s, yeah.
Re-rolling 1s.
Okay. And there's a couple of 1s, and I only see 2 5s. So in the end, only 2 hits. That neutering, that the fact that you took some damage has really affected you. Strength?
6.
Strength 6, toughness 6, wounding on 4s. No wounds.
SMS at the other fellas.
8 shots, SMS, hitting on 5s. Re-rolling 1s. You got 2 hits. Wounding on 4s. 2 wounds. 2 4-up saves. And I make them both. So Riptide number 1, dealing no damage that turn because he's steaming, because he's smoking. Now the Pathfinders are just firing their pulse carbines down into the Destroyers, hitting on 4s and re-rolling 1s. There's a 1. That's 3 hits.
Here's another 1.
Strength 5, toughness 5, wounding on 4s. And that's a wound AP.
Dash.
AP dash. 4-up save becomes a 3-up save because I just remembered a Shroud Psalm. Just remembered it. 3-up. And it, see, it's a good job I remembered it. See, I saved the wound. Now, Commander, Tau Commander, missile pods coming in. He hits on 2s and he rewalls 1s because he's right next to Anushi. Or does he hit on 3s because it's a heavy gun?
It's, yeah, 3s.
Okay, so he only has 2 hits there. Wounding on 3s. 2 wounds, AP -1.
Yep.
Which drops these to a 5-up, but I've got a 4-up because of Shroud Psalm. So 2 4-up saves. And I'm going to use a command point because I've got 4 left, I believe. I need to check my pool. No, so the command point doesn't help me. And each one of these does D3 damage twice. That's 2 damage and 2 damage. So 2 damage on 1 puts it onto 1 wound and then kills 1 and the wound doesn't spill over. And I'll take that one away because that other one is closer to your lines. Take the one from the back. Last thing left to shoot, the Riptide firing its plasma down at the Castellan robots here and the Iron Accelerator going down at the Iron Striders. 2 plasma, misses. Heavy D6 for the Iron Accelerator, 1 shot.
I'll re-roll that.
Re-rolling it with a command point. 3 shots. You need 5s to hit. 0 hits. Re-rolling 1s. 0 hits. That's the end of turn 5 shooting for the Tau, and these Riptides, because their weapon skill was reduced, their ballistic skill was reduced, that really hurt you. You didn't actually kill anything this turn, a bit like me last turn. Didn't kill anything all the turn before, I forget what it was. You're still in the lead. I think you're 3 or 4 points in the lead. We haven't counted it up. I'm scared to count it up, to be honest, to find out how many points you are in the lead, because it might end at the end of turn 5. So now the Penitent Forge really need to unleash hell. Here we are in the movement phase, no movement in the castle and the installation at the back, no movement with the Iron Striders. I want to kill that stealth suit. And then here we are, round this side. He's put Pathfinders up there, very squishy Pathfinders. This should be enough to kill them. Didn't have to make morale tests with them last turn, I would have auto-passed. And then strung out here. And now, one of these robots has got sight on that guy, and he's a unit of 1 kill point there. But spreading my firepower from this lot, from the Castellan robots and the Cataphoron destroyers, into squishy things, means I'm not hurting the Riptides, who can do the most amount of damage back. But they didn't seem to be doing any damage last turn. So I'm going to suck in a gut and take it if it goes on to turn 6 and try and kill as many squishy things as I can. I need these points. Let's start over here, the Iron Striders, one more time, trying to kill that stealth suit. Stayed still, so I'm hitting on 4s. 3 hits, wounding on 3s, 2 wounds, 2 4-up saves because it's -1 AP. And you fail 1 and he's dead because it does 2 damage. Yeah?
Yeah.
You've got 2 command points left. Damn it. And most of the time when we've done the rerolls, the dice gods are saying, no, I don't care how many rerolls you've got. You're going to die anyway. So finally take out the stealth team. Then around here, let's do this firepower. And I'm not going to split fire. Everything the destroyers can do is going into the Pathfinders. No need to overcharge. I don't need 2 damage. And I'm going to be winning on 2s no matter what with the phosphor blasters. So let's with the heavy plasma culverins. So let's do 2d6 with the plasma culverins. 11 shots. Pathfinders are in trouble here. Hitting on 4s, maybe not. Less than half of the hit, but I'm within 6 inches of Designate 17, so I get my reroll and get 1 more. But these will wound on 2s, and Paul will pick them up. I only killed 3. Only 3 of them die, leaving 2 left. I've got to fire my phosphor blasters now, and let's work out if I'm in rapid fire range. I'm in rapid fire range with 1, but I just remembered I'm going to spend a command point to do one of those wounds. Anything but a 1 and you pick up 1 more. Please don't roll another 1. No, so you pick up 1 more and I've burnt a command point. Now let's do the phosphor blasters in at that 1 last Pathfinder. Let's find out if I'm in rapid fire. One of them is, one of them isn't. 4s to hit. Re-rolling. 1 hit. Strength 5, 3 up. Strength 5, toughness 3. I need a 3. That's a wound. -1 So you've got your 6-up t-shirt save, because they normally have a 5-up save. Don't roll it. Oh, you roll a 6. Kill point denial again. So that lone Pathfinder breathes a sigh of relief. However, this one fire warrior around here is about to get lit up. I've got 6 guns in this unit. 2 of the heavy phosphor blasters are going to go into him. I know it's overkill, but I want him dead. The other 4 into the Riptide. Still within 6 inches of Designate 17, firing at that little fire warrior and hitting on 4s, only getting 2 hits. Re-rolling, okay, that was 5 hits. Strength 6, toughness 3. And that's 5 wounds. -3 to your... he's dead.
Oh, this guy?
Actually, you might get 6s, let me check. Sorry, that was -2 save, so Paul had to roll a bunch of 6s off camera, and yeah, he's dead. Right, now let's fire the other 4 shots at the Riptide. Hitting on 4s, and re-rolling, that's a good first round. Re-roll, 2 more hits. 9 hits in total, wounding on 5s, however. Nice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds. 5 up in vuns, and you make 3 of them, dropping him down from 5 down to 3 wounds left. You made 3 of them, so you were on 5. Sorry. Yeah, you got 3 wounds left. And that is the end of my shooting phase. Now this Pathfinder has to take a morale test, but he's leadership 9 because he's next to a new sheet. 5 + 4 is 9. He's hanging in there. The presence of the ethereal giving him courage, making him stand firm. And that's the end of turn 5, and I have 7 kill points. We just counted them up, and Paul has 7 kill points as well. Paul has first blood because he killed the first thing, and I have line breaker with my robots down here, which means it 8 points to 8. If I'd have killed him, I'd be 1 point in the lead. But that Pathfinder is hanging in there. Now we need to roll a dice to find out whether this game ends and whether it's a draw. So roll up Paul on a 1-2. It's a draw. No, we go on to turn 6. So the Penitent Forge are pushing further and deeper into the Tau lines. Will the game end as a draw at the bottom of turn 6? Will the Tau be able to turn the tide? Or will the Penitent Forge be able to push them off this battle grid? Let's find out. Desperate stuff in the Tau back lines. This Riptide here has Nova-charged his Ion Shield, getting it up to a 3-up invulnerable save and putting him down to 2 wounds remaining. Only 2 wounds remaining. And because he's so injured, he only moved 4 inches forward. What is Paul thinking of? Well, he told me he's planning on charging the robots and hopefully withstanding the assault. And it stops these guys shooting and killing him. He's trying to lock them down. I'll have Overwatch against him, but in my turn, if I fall back, I can't shoot. And it would also potentially keep this one chap safe here. Because I was thinking about coming around, putting shots into the one Fire Warrior and shots into the Riptide and killing both of them. This way, he's trying to lock down some of my shooting ability. But he's got to withstand the Overwatch first, and he's got to get in there. It'll be a 6-inch charge to try and lock down this flank, and there's going to be a heroic intervention with a power fist. 2 wins left, 3-up invulnerable save, heroic stuff. I asked Paul why, oh why, and you said it was
for the greater good.
For the greater good. I love it. Then around here, Commander standing still. This guy was already fired. We did it off camera. He fired down into there, did nothing. And Nushi standing firm, the Warlord for the Tau. And he overcharged as well, putting his wounds down to 4. And we're now going to finish off the rest of the shooting phase and see if you can kill anything, because it's standing on a knife edge here. It's a draw. If you kill 1 unit, then it's 1 point in the lead. If you kill nothing, and I kill 1 of your things, it could be a Penitent Forge victory.
Rerolling 1s.
Commander firing in. 2s to hit. Rerolling 1s. He shoots in, and this is strength 7, toughness 5, wounds on 3s. That many wounds.
My last dice and re-rolled that one.
Your last command point.
No.
That's 3 wounds.
It doesn't.
-1 to AP. I've got 5-up saves to make. No Shroud Salmon effect, and I make 2 of them.
2 damage.
And that does 2 damage. Hurts the rear Cataphren Destroyer, but doesn't kill him. Not enough gun yet. Now the SMS on the Riptide is coming in, and the big nasty gun's going downstream. Okay, let's see if the SMS can finish him off. Rerolling ones, and that is 7 out of 8 hits. Oh, the destroyers, they could be in trouble.
It was only 6 because it's hitting on 5s.
Yep, hitting on 5, sorry, yep. So 6 hits, thank you. But 6 hits and 5 wounds is still pretty good. It's a lot of cheese right there. Let's see if I can save this. 4 up save. So one of them will die, one of them will take a wound.
Heavy burst cannon on these fellas.
The Riptide has done that. Now the heavy burst cannon comes in. 5s to hit, I remember this time. Rerolling 1s. Didn't get any more on that reroll. That's 4 hits. Strength 6, toughness 6, 4s to wound.
2 wounds.
2 wounds. AP what?
-2.
-2. 6 up. 2 get through. And that just does 2 wounds, knocking that guy down to 2 wounds remaining. And now this Exviator is going to do the same thing. SMS is going that way to try and kill off that last destroyer, and the high yield missile pod's going downstream to hit the Iron Striders. Firing with the high yields. 8 shots. He stayed still. He's re-rolling 1s. He's within 6 inches of a Nushi, and he's hitting on 4s. And that's 6 hits. Strength 7, toughness 6, wounding on 3s. This could work. And that is 5 wounds. Minus what AP? -1.
-1.
So I've got 5 up saves to make. And I made 2 of them only. High yield missile pod does D3 damage a pop. Now we have to roll this separately because wounds don't spill over. So D3 on the first hit does 1 damage, leaving that on 1 wound left. On the second hit, kills him. So he's dead, and then D3 on the second one. 3. He blows up on a 6. Oh no. Unfortunately, that only does 1 mortal wound to him, not D3, but 1 Iron Strider down, and the other one, 4 wounds ripped off of him. And then 8 SMS shots coming into the destroyer. He's got 2 wounds left.
Reroll 1s.
Rerolling 1s. That's 3 hits so far. 5 hits in total. Strength 5, toughness 5. You're looking for those 4s. And you get 2 4s. I have 2 4-up saves and 2 wounds for the Omnissiah. And I make them both. Right, this guy, firing at them, he wants to charge them. Hitting on 5s with these because they're not heavy, and you get 2 hits. And they're plasmas, you're going to wound on 5s. Because it's strength 6, toughness 7, that's a wound. I need an invun, 4-up invun, which I make. And that's 4-up invun with the Aegis protocol. Still haven't changed it. 3 shots with the ion thing, hitting on 6s on here. And they all miss. You're outside of the range of a Nushi to reroll at once. That's the end of your shooting phase. You haven't killed anything. You nearly killed him. You nearly killed the Iron Strider. So the game is still a draw. Are you sure you want to charge? Overwatch. 18 shots. Hitting on 6s. And that's 3 hits right there. Strength 6, toughness 7, wounding on 5s. 2 wounds. 2 3-up invulnerable saves, or he's dead.
Boom.
Boom. You make them both. Now you need a 6-inch charge to complete it, and you've got no rerolls. You've burnt all your command points, and you get a 6 by the skin of your teeth. The Riptide ended his charge move here. Now he gets to pile in 3 inches, so long as he ends up closest to an enemy unit. Paul's choosing to stick him this way round, because otherwise he'd be too close to the Datasmith, and the Datasmith would have a chance to pile in and smack him with his power fist. He doesn't want that. Anyway, the Riptide, how many attacks has he got left? Now he's only on 2 wounds. Okay, 2 attacks, hitting on
5s.
5s. Swing away. No, nothing at all. Please stop these from shooting. Now I'm going to punch you back. Robots, 3 attacks each, hitting on 4s. No rerolls, that only affects the shooting phase. I pulled a 6. Strength 6, toughness 7, wounding on 5s. No wounds. And so at the end of turn 6 for the Tau, the game is still a draw. The Tau have not managed to kill anything. I would pass a morale test there. Even if I rolled a 6, So we're about to go into turn 6 for the Penitent Forge. And my big scary unit cannot charge, cannot shoot at all the stuff in the backfield, but maybe D17 can get in and rip apart that Riptide. Let's move on to Admech, turn 6. Okay, in the movement phase, Iron Strider staying still, and in the end I decided to move Designate 17 around this way because this Solar Atomizer is mean. And I want to kill that Commander. It's strength 10, D3 damage a pop. It's possible, but I'm going to need to kill that one remaining Pathfinder first with the Cataphren Destroyer. He healed his wounds, he's back up to full wounds, so 2 units dead there. Then round this side, I've decided to ignore piling in. They can stay locked up. The Datasmith is going to give them Conqueror protocols on a 2-up, which happens. So they're going to attack twice in the fight phase. And he jumped up and over because he can now see that Pathfinder down there poking his head out. I need to kill as many of these units as I can to win this No Mercy mission. So let's pull the trigger. Firing the Gamma pistol of the Datasmith, hitting on a 3. That's a hit. It's strength 6, AP -3, 2 damage. Basically, if I get a 2, that Fire Warrior is dead and I'm in the lead. Dead Fire Warrior. Round here, Phosphor Blaster from the Destroyer, hitting on 4s and wounding on 3s. Dead Pathfinder. Now for Designate 17, aka Belisarius Call, firing in at that Commander. D3 shots with his Solar Atomizer. I rolled a 1, so I'm spending the command point, and I rolled a 1. Why have command points? It's just the dice gods say, nah, you rolled a 1, mate. Okay, hitting on a 2. He hits. Strength 10, wounding on a 2. He wounds. It's -4 AP, you don't get any cover, but it does D3 damage. Imagine if 2 of these are hit. He'd be wiped out. D3 damage. 6. So that's 3 damage on him. And how many wounds has he got?
6.
Okay, that's D3, so he takes 3 damage. Well, it was a nice idea. I know I didn't declare him. I was going to throw everything at the Pathfinder, by the way, in case that Phosphor Blaster missed. I wasn't going to split it. Everything at the Pathfinder. I've killed 2 units. I'm 2 points in the lead. And then over here, let's fire the Iron Strider at your injured Riptide. And I'll be hitting on 4s. And I get 1 hit. And I'll be wounding, strength 7, toughness 7, wounding on 4s. That's a wound with -1 to your armour. So you got a 3-up save or take 2 damage on that Riptide. Which you make. That's the end of my shooting phase. Now we're going into the assault. I'm going to charge him into that. And that's a 6. And he's in. Boom. Now I'm going to swing at him before you swing at my chap. So let's swing with these guys, fighting twice, hitting him. This is an interesting rules thing. It's come up on Mini Wargaming as well. They fight twice. So does that mean their attacks go from 6 to 12? Or do they fight and then someone else fights and then they fight again? We think they fight twice. We think that they just double their number of attacks. That's how it used to be before. That's how Mini Wargaming have ruled it. So I'm going to follow Mini Wargaming because I like Mini Wargaming, and I'm going to hit on 4s. That is a pretty good hitting. 7 hits, wounding on 5s. And I only get 2 wounds, but you get your full save at that, which is 2 up, right?
Yep.
And you make it. Now that's the end of my charges. You've got no command points to interrupt, so now my Datasmith gets to punch you with his Power Fist. He's got 2 attacks. He's sitting on 4s because it's a Power Fist, unwieldy. 1 hit. Yeah, let's re-roll it. I've got 1 command point left after this. See? Dice Gods said no. Strength 8, toughness 7, wounding on a 3. That's a wound with your 3-up invulnerable save.
No.
Which you don't make. This does D3 damage. He's got 2 wounds left.
1 or 2 for me, baby.
For the
1 or 2.
1. He's got 1 wound left. He's hanging in there. That's the end of battle round 6. 2 points in the lead because I killed that Pathfinder and that Fire Warrior. And I'm deep, deep in the towel lines now. But does the game end? The person who went second rolls in game turn 6. So that's me. So on a 1, 2, 3, the Penitent Forge win. And we're going to turn 7. Turn 7, the only thing that moved was Anushi. I thought Paul was crazy last time charging the Riptide in, but now his Warlord is breaking cover and it looks like he wants to charge in to the Destroyer. And even crazier, that Riptide spent another hull point, dropped another mortal wound, down to 3 mortal wounds to overcharge. What are you doing this time?
Guns.
Guns.
Always guns.
Always guns, so more guns. He could kill this and that, bringing the game back up to a draw, and then I don't know what else. I don't know what else you can do. But let's move on to turn 7 Tau and find out. Anushi's Invocation of the Elements is a 6-up, feel no pain. This Tau commander firing through at the destroyers, hitting on 2s, got 3 hits, not re-rolling the 1s because that invocation. Wounding on 3s. And that's 2 wounds, and it's -1, so I have 2 5-up saves to make, which I failed both, and these do D3 each. Ooh, you killed him. That's just 1 kill point in it now. That destroyer blown open. Okay, interestingly enough, that makes Designate 17 call the closest unit to this little castle here. So the SMS from the XV-88 going that way, high yield missile pod going downtown at the Iron Strider. 8 shots, hitting on 4s, no re-rolling 1s this time. But that's 4 hits, that's tasty. Strength 7, toughness 6, wounding on 3s, 3 wounds, -1, so this is 3 5-up saves. I make 2 of them. He's got 2 hull points left. And that does 3 damage, unless it does 2 wounds a pop. Didn't it do 2 wounds a pop? Anyway, he's dead. High yield missile pod doing D3 damage, blowing up this Iron Strider, and suddenly this game is a draw. And now we've got some SMS coming in. Belisarius Call, aka Designate 17. 4s to hit. It's pretty good shooting text. That's 6 hits. Strength 5, toughness 6. 5s to wound though. He's a tough old bird, is Designate 17. Yes, that's 1 wound, 2-up save, which I make. Now this Riptide is firing everything he can at Designate 17, and some part of that model can see Designate 17, so he can fire the big gun as well as the SMS in at my Warlord. SMS. 5s to hit.
2. 1 wound.
1 wound, 1 2-up. And I've got 1 command point left. I'm going to re-roll. I'm going to take that. And I pass it. That's all my command points spent now. And now you get to fire your big nasty gun. 12 shots hitting on 5s. That's too good when he's this injured. That was 4 hits.
Strength 6.
Toughness 6. Wounding on 4s. 2 wounds.
It's AP2, -2.
AP -2, so it drops my 2-up to a 4-up. Takes 1 wound, drops him down to 7 wounds. Now we're on to the charge phase. Anushi is going to charge Designate 17, and he gets D3 shots with the Solar Atomizer on Overwatch. That's 2. I need 6s to hit. No hits. Now charge in there, old fella. Anushi's old for a Tau. He's got a 12-inch charge there. He is keen. He comes racing in. And now we're on to the fight phase. Now Anushi is really old for Tau. Normally they don't live beyond 40 or 50, but this guy's at least 60 years old, so he knows how to swing a sword. Designate 17 is a little bit older than that though. 5 attacks, hitting on 2s. He's a samurai. All 5 hit. Strength 5, wounding on 5s, and he manages to do 1 wound. Any AP with that weapon?
-2.
-2, so a 4-up save. And it doesn't scratch the paintwork, so I made my save. Now it's my turn. Designate 17, having a go. Each time he fights, 2d6 of Mechadendrite Hive. So he's got 4 attacks, which hit on 2s. And this is strength 5, so wound on 3s. No wounds at all. So Anushi dodged that blow, but can he dodge this? 4 attacks with the Omniscient Axe coming in first. Hitting on 2s. 3 hits. This will be strength 6, toughness 3, wounding on 2s. 3 wounds. Anushi's got a 4-up invulnerable save. He makes 2 of them, or 1 of them, so 2 get through. Each does 2 damage each. So you rolled 2 and roll 2 more. No, he takes 4 wounds, but he's still alive with 1 wound left. He's 5 wounds, that little Tau. Now the Riptide smacking the Datasmith because he thinks he might be able to kill him, hitting on 5s. Nothing. A 1 hit, wounding on a 3. That's a wound. Yeah, he gets a wound in. I have a 3-up save, which I make. So the Riptide failed to wound, so I'm going to strike back with the Datasmith, hitting on 4s with a Power Fist. 1 hit, wounding on a 3. That's a wound. Up save, which you failed. This does D3 wounds. He's got 1 wound left. The Riptide falls. That's the end of turn 7 for the Tau. The Penitent Forge, the Admech, are 1 point in the lead. And with Anushi on 1 wound left, Designate 17 on 7 wounds left, about to heal himself at the start of my turn 7, Paul has graciously conceded. This is the way the world ends. With the second in command and the Vanguard holding the installation at the back, with Designate 17, the Datasmith and the robots pushing the Tau back and back and back, the Penitent Forge have won this day. All that's left for the Tau are a Riptide, a suit, and their warlord, Anushi, who is about to get ripped open by the living horror. That is the Archmagos of the Penitent Forge. It was a close game. It was backwards and forwards, left and right, gunfire erupting across this dried up riverbed. Despite forgetting Canticles of the Omnissiah for most of the game, I was quite pleased by how the Admech did. I think I did rather well, shooting versus shooting, but the Tau list was very far from optimized. As I said, this is the first time Paul's had a dabble with his Tau. I'm sure we're going to see a very different list next time. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking fish.
Fish?
Fish and hammerheads.
What do you think ghost kills? I quite like the look of ghost kills.
Yeah, well, I didn't try that one out today, so that would be on the list. And maybe the Storm Surge.
Maybe the Storm Surge. We'd like to see the Storm Surge on the channel. So as the smoke clears the air, as the Tau evac from this place, it's a win for the Penitent Forge. Thank you very much for watching. Happy wargaming.